Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I am Diego, and today we're going to talk about some more Sex in the City. That's right. More girls pumping it out in the city from a straight man's point of view. From a straight man's point of view. That's right. That's the difference between this show and all the other shows, okay? When are you ever going to see a straight guy talk about Sex in the City, okay, with as much knowledge and as much depth as I have? Okay, I am Diego. I have watched every single episode of Sex and the City. I watched both movies, and unfortunately, I watched that piece of shit show and just like crap. I've already reviewed it. Don't watch it. You can watch my reviews. They're on this channel. Okay, today we're going to talk about the original show, Sex and the City, which came out in the late 90s to the early 2000s, back when the show was good. And the show was damn good, and this episode is a perfect example of how good it was. Okay, now you're probably wondering, well, what's a straight guy doing watching Sex and the City? Well, I was trying to get laid, okay? I've been a fan of the show since it first came out. Back then, I was a much younger man. Back then, we're talking like 20-something plus years ago, okay? Just gotten out of the Marines. I'm in society. I'm living in a big city. Okay, I'm going to college, and I'm working with a bunch of young, good-looking people. I'm in the restaurant industry. You know, I'm working in bars. I'm working in nightclubs. You know, I'm doing acting, you know, stand-up comedy, all that kind of shit, okay? I'm involved in all that stuff, so naturally all the people around me were involved in that stuff as well, okay? A lot of actresses, wannabe actresses, a lot of fucking models, you know, a lot of that stuff, musicians, you know, stand-up comedians, and we were all like in the same fucking thing. We're all working the same jobs, trying to get our break, you know. So I knew a lot of young people, and I was doing the same stuff that these ladies were doing, only I was a good 10, 15 years younger than they were, okay? But I was doing the same shit they were doing, okay? So I was going to shows, I was going to piano bars, I was going to nightclubs, concerts, festivals, you know, the beach, you know, I mean, we were doing parties, house parties, hotel parties, private parties, we were doing all that shit, okay? We were doing all that shit, okay? So yes, I knew what it was like, okay, to live the kind of lifestyle they lived, you know, living out of taxis, you know, condos, apartments, working downtown. I worked downtown, you know, so I knew all that stuff, okay, the theater district, you know, the nightclubs, all that kind of stuff. I was very much into that scene, and I was actively dating back then. Like I said, I was in my 20s. This is the shit you do when you're in your 20s. You party, you know, you hang out with your friends, you drink, you get laid, okay? That's what you do in your 20s, all right? That's what it's there for, okay? And I was doing that. Okay? So, all the girls that I knew, all the hot girls that I knew especially, they were all watching this show. And I wanted to know what was going on. I went, what the fuck are all these women watching this show for? You know, like, I don't get it. You know, so I started watching the show and I got hooked. I actually liked the show. Now, the only problem I had with the show was I did not like the way they portrayed the straight men on the show. I did not like that at all. Okay, they did not portray them realistically. Okay, I don't know what these guys were, but these are not real men. Okay, the show is written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. They don't know what a fucking straight man is really like. These were caricatures of what a straight guy was like, okay? But they weren't actually believable men, okay? Now, none of my straight guy friends were watching this show, so we couldn't compare notes, okay? But I would always be the one in the conversation going like that. No guy would ever do that. That's bullshit. That's absolute crap, okay? But there is that old saying, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day. And sometimes they do get it right. And this is one of those episodes. They got it right, okay? Now, just real quickly, I want to preface this. If you're easily offended, okay, get the fuck out, okay? I will not censor myself for you, okay? I'm going to tell you the honest God truth, straight man's point of view. That's what this video is about, okay? So if you're easily offended, if you're easily triggered, okay, get the fuck out right now. That's your warning. I will not censor myself here. I'm not going to spare your feelings, okay? I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I don't know you. But I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? And if you get triggered, get the fuck out, all right? I'm telling you a straight man's point of view, okay? That's the point of view you never got when you watch this show, okay? I'm not your gay friend, okay? I'm not one of your girlfriends, okay? I'm telling you the fucking truth. Now, the episode that we're talking about today, this is season 6, episode 4. The title of this episode is called Pick a Little, Talk a Little. Now, earlier in this episode, Miranda, yeah, we know her, she actually asked a straight man his opinion on something. And what he told her was the same shit that I would tell you. Only he said it nicer than I did, but it meant the same thing, okay? And the women were, not only were they offended by what he said, they were flabbergasted. They were dumbfounded. Oh my God! What? You know, like, unbelievable, okay? Well, yeah, no fucking shit, because men, we're not as complicated as you are, okay? We have our moments, and there's different degrees, but straight men, we're not really, you know, we're not really that complicated. We're pretty easy to figure out, okay? Y'all overcomplicate it. Most of the time you do, okay? Now, another thing you need to know about this episode, okay, is we're going into some very personal territory for me. Okay, I've said this before. If you've been watching my videos, you know it's true. I'm always complaining about the show, now I love the show, but I'm always complaining about how they treat the straight guys, like I said. However, there was one character I remember watching when the show first came out. There was one character that I did relate to. There was one straight male character that I did understand why he was acting the way he did, why he said what he did. And sometimes it was controversial. Okay, sometimes I remember getting into arguments with women about this, about how they were like, how could he sue? How could he do that? How could he say that? You know, and I'd be defending him. And they were like, what? How could you? He did that. And I'd be explaining to myself, well, he did this because of this. That's why he did it. It makes perfect sense to me. I don't know why you're so confused or you know, you can't handle it. Okay, but yeah, I know exactly why he did that. Why? Okay, there was one character on the show that I understood, and that character is Jack Berger, and that's the character that we're dealing with right now. Okay, that's Carrie's boyfriend right now, is Jack Berger. Okay, so whenever I see him, I remember very well when I was in my 20s watching him on the show and thinking to myself, oh my God, he's doing everything that I would do. He's saying everything I would say. You know, unbelievable. Like, whoa, this is scary. This is scary. Now I'm an older man and I'm watching it again. And what I'm really seeing is I'm not so much like that now, although I still am a little bit, you know, and I still understand why he's doing it, but it's very close to what I was like back then. Very much so, you know. And watching these episodes again, watching these episodes with him in it just brings that all back to me. Like, oh, what was I thinking back then? What was I feeling? What was so important to me back then? You know, what were my priorities back then, you know? And I remember the stuff that I was thinking about now. Watching it, I'm remembering what it was like to be in my 20s again. And the things that were going through my head and the stupid things that I did. Oh my God, you know? If I could go back in time and do it over again, I would. I would, you know? But you can't, you're supposed to learn from your experiences, you know? And I have learned, but damn it, I just did some fucked up shit back then, you know? And just watching his character in this episode do those same things that I was doing. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why are you being so stupid? You know, pride is there's a reason it's one of the 7 deadly sins, all right? And if there's one thing me and Jack Berger share a lot is pride. Very much so. Okay, so let's start off with this episode, okay? To recap where we were, Miranda, Jack Berger gave her some advice that he's just not into you. Yeah, it's product placement. They're trying to pitch, that book just came out back then. Remember, this episode is like what, 19 years ago? Okay, that book came out back then. It was a popular thing. So, of course, Sex and the City had to fucking jump on the bandwagon to sell this book. He's just not that into you, which is basically just a book some idiot wrote. I read the book. I know what I'm talking about, okay? And I saw that piece of shit rom-com movie, too. And I will review that later on once I'm done with this show and I start going into the chick flicks, okay? But, yeah, it was a bullshit thing. A lot of women bought the book because, you know, hey, it's not my fault. He's just not that into me. Yeah, he's not into you because you're a fucking bitch, okay? And you're ugly. That's why he's not just that into you, okay? Okay, I don't censor myself here, okay? But anyway, so it was a big seller back then, so this show was just on the bandwagon. That's why he kept saying it, okay? So Miranda believes this, and she takes this up as her mantra now. He's just not that into me. It's okay to not like me. That just means you're just not that into me. It has nothing to do with me being a fat-ass, selfish, egotistical bitch. Nothing to do with that. Okay. Okay, so that's where Miranda is. Samantha has been doing role play with her boy toy. Okay, Smith Jared. His name has not been revealed yet. Okay, she just calls him Jared. Well, he said his name was Jerry. That's it. She didn't call him that. She calls him the waiter. Okay, or Mr. Smith, or whatever alias she wants to use, okay? And he's starting to get a little upset with it, okay? Now, they've been role-playing. He pretended to be a home intruder, you know, and raping her. He pretended to be a detective, a private detective, like trying to question her for some information. You know, he pretended, they role-played him was an accountant, and she had to declare bankruptcy. You know, what can I do to save my husband's business, you know? Well... You know, that kind of shit, you know. So that's what she's totally into that. He started to not be so much into it, okay? And Charlotte is fucking gung-ho on being Jewish. She's Jewish now. She's cooking Jewish foods. She's asking her friends to help her cook Jewish foods. She's buying Jewish foods. She's trying to memorize all the words, all the holidays, all the meanings. She's just thrown herself into this shit, okay? Like, she's telling everybody she's a Jew, even though nobody fucking asked her and nobody gives a fucking shit. She's still telling everybody that she's a Jew and how much she's in love with her Jewish boyfriend, Harry, who is, by the way, her divorce lawyer who helped her get her divorce from her husband. It's been less than a year since she's, you know, been divorced, okay? And she hooked up with her divorce lawyer, okay? So that's where we are. And like I said, Carrie is dating Jack Berger right now, and they're head over heels. He gave her his book, his novel that he wrote. He let her read it and get her review. And she criticized a piece of it about the scrunchie. No girl in New York would ever wear a scrunchie all around Manhattan, you know. And he got pissed off that she said that he criticized his book. Okay, so now he's being kind of passive aggressive towards her. Okay, so that's where we are. All right. So where we left off. So now Miranda overhears some women. She's out there eating her sack lunch outside in the city, and she overhears two women complaining about whether or not the guy that she likes is going to call her back, whatever, you know. And they're both talking about it. One's Asian, one's black, and they're talking, oh, he's going to call. Oh, of course he's going to call back. You know, he's going to call back because blah blah blah. And Miranda overhears all this, and she decides just to jump in the fucking her ABC her way into the conversation. You know, A and B are having a conversation. You should see your way out of it. Well, she decides to jump in there, even though nobody asked her, and tell these women, hey, you know what? The reason he hasn't called you back is because he's just not that into you. So you should just let him go. And she walks away, and they're like, you fucking bitch. What the fuck are you? Nobody asked you. You know, what the fuck do you know? You white fat ass slut. No, they didn't say that. I said that, though. I said that during the scene. Okay, he's just, yeah, no one asked her. But, you know, that kind of shit. So they didn't ask for her fucking advice. All right. Meanwhile, during another role play session with Samantha and Smith Jared, like I said, his name has not been revealed yet. They're doing a whole detective thing. You know, they're at a bar, okay, and she's sitting there. He's like, man, I'm detective. You got some bullshit fucking little toy badge, you know. I'm Detective Smith, and I need to ask you some questions about your husband, you know. She's like, oh, my husband. Has he been gone for so long and I'm so lonely? He's like, well, ma'am, if you don't mind me sitting here talking to you, you know. And she's like, oh, let me get us some drinks. Bartender, 2 martinis. He's like, no, sir. It'll be 1 martini and 1 seltzer water. Bartender, make that 2 martinis. No, Samantha. Seltzer water for me, okay? I don't drink, okay? I'm an AA. Whoa! Now that just kills her fucking mood. She's just like, huh? This fucker doesn't drink? Like, and when you think about it, the women are all alcoholics. In case you haven't noticed, okay, these women are fucking alcoholics. What do they always do? They're always fucking getting drunk. All the fucking time. They are getting drunk. All right? Now, me personally, I don't drink anymore. I drank back then. I don't drink anymore, okay? Just not part of my life anymore. But he tells her, hey, I'm an AA and I don't drink. Well, that kills Samantha's mood, and she's actually pissed off at him for refusing her fucking martini. Okay? So she decides, she makes up some fucking excuse and just fucking, oh, I got a meeting tomorrow, I can't stay, bye. And she fucking runs out, like she runs out of there. Like very rude, very like fucking like, oh really? Okay, well I gotta go, bye. You know, like she doesn't, and I know what it is about Samantha. Okay, let me tell you something real quickly about Samantha, okay? I think I figured her out. I'm figuring her out more the more episodes I watch. Okay, Samantha cannot pair bond, okay? She does not know how to relate to a man any other way other than sexual, okay? And now I know that's empowering and she's a boss bitch, okay, but it's actually pretty fucking sad. She cannot talk to a man without involving sex into it. Now you can say, oh, well, she's not attracted to him. Then no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about she can't talk to just a person and see a person other than, is he a sex object or is he not a sex object? If he's not a sex object, get the fuck out of my way. If he is a sex object, okay, let's fuck, because you're basically my fucking vibrator. Don't fucking tell me your name. I don't care about your fucking life. You're here to fuck me and you better fuck me good, okay? Because tomorrow I'm fucking someone else. That's basically Samantha's only way of relating to men. She cannot relate to men on a regular, normal level, okay? And I've met women, I used to manage a titty bar, okay? Yes, I've met women like this, okay? Where when you meet them for the first time, they start whispering in your ear something sexual. You know, I'm like, whoa, wait, I don't fucking know you. Like, you automatically went straight towards sexuality, straight towards sex. Like, you know, I'm a human being too, okay? I don't just have sex, okay? There's other things about me as well, all right? And if I'm meeting someone for the first time, I kind of want to know things like your name, where you're from, that kind of stuff. And then we can start a banter. And then, okay, now, am I attracted to you? Absolutely. I'll know in the first 2 seconds whether or not I'm attracted to you or not. That's not the point. The point is, I'm not going to pursue anything with you. Just because I'm attracted to you doesn't mean I'm going to pursue anything with you until I get to know you a little bit better. You see what I mean? I got to know what else is there. Okay? That'd be like the equivalent of a man going up to a woman and going like, hey, you got some great fucking titties. Let's fuck. You know, like, would you fuck him like that? Well, maybe if it was Harry Styles, you would. But if it was a normal guy off the street, you probably wouldn't, would you? No. Now, does that mean you would never fuck this guy? No, probably you would if he did things the right way. You know, you got to know, you got to meet each other. He was charming. He was caring, you know. He fucking asked you out. He was witty. He made you laugh, you know. Then you could start getting attracted. And then eventually you would sleep with him, okay? But not if he just came up to you and said, hey, bitch, you know, you got some nice fucking titties. I bet your pussy's nice, wet and tight, isn't it? Let's fuck. If he did that, you'd probably get me turned off, okay? All right. Well, Samantha doesn't know how to relate to men any other way. Everything she says is a sexual innuendo. You know, the only thing she would even talk to a guy is to fuck him or to try to fuck him. And that's kind of sad. Okay, there's a whole other fucking 50% of the human race that she does not know how to relate to except this way. That's pretty fucking sad, don't you think? It's pretty fucking sad. It is to me, because she doesn't know how to have just a normal platonic relationship with a guy. She does not know how to fucking do that. She doesn't. It's sad. She cannot relate to men any other way except sexual. Okay? That's something wrong with her. Okay? I know we love Samantha. I know that's the one we all want to be like, you know, because she's so adventurous and she has so much confidence and so much courage. No, she doesn't. Okay? That's a mask. Her confidence is a mask for her insecurities. Okay? She can tell you all day long about she doesn't give a fuck about a guy. I don't give a shit about a guy. And she's said that before. You know, I love myself more than any guy, okay? Well, that's all fine and dandy, okay? But if you want to relate to another fucking human being, you have to learn how to show empathy, okay? You have to learn how to put yourself in their place and feel what they're feeling so you can understand them. She can't do that. She only understands herself and nobody else. Doesn't want to understand anybody else. Doesn't care about anybody else. You see what I mean? And that's fucking sad. The only reason she has friendships with Carrie and the other girls is because she's a girl herself. So she knows the struggles that they're feeling. Okay? And it makes her feel better to know that she doesn't suffer the way they do. Okay? The way they struggle relationships. She don't struggle relationships. Okay? She struggles with a relationship like one episode and she gets rid of that relationship. Fuck that noise. I'm going back to riding the cock carousel. Because that she understands. But the only problem is she's not getting any younger and she's getting less attractive every day, just like the rest of us are. Okay? Eventually, nobody's going to take her up on it. Okay? At least nobody she's attracted to. Let's face it. The best looking guys on the show, she's the one fucking them. Okay? Very, very realistic, right? No, yes, the 40-year-old. The 45-year-old is the one fucking the hottest guys in the show. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. No, Ripley don't believe it and I don't believe it either. Okay, this is all show and tell. This is all showing you all this shit to make Samantha more popular. But it's not realistic at all. Okay? Eventually, okay, she's gonna have to get off that fucking carousel. And what's gonna be there for her when she does? Nobody. And how's she going to find a guy that only cares about her other than sex? She won't. She doesn't even know how to talk to a guy unless it involves sex. You see what I mean? Okay. All right. So moving right along. Charlotte acts like Martha Jewart. That's what Carrie says. Carrie and Miranda go to fucking Charlotte's house to help her cook hama, which I guess is a Jewish delicatessen or whatever. I don't fucking know. Okay. And yeah. They're making challah. Obviously, Miranda and Carrie do not know their way around the kitchen. They don't feel comfortable wearing the fucking aprons. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just there to support their friend Charlotte because it's important to Charlotte, so they're gonna help her out. But they really don't give a shit about cooking. They're not gonna learn how to cook. They don't give a fuck. All right. So she announces now that for she announces to the girls that she's already picked the time for the wedding, which will be in November. They're like, wedding? What do you mean wedding, Charlotte? He hasn't even proposed to you. She's like, I know him well enough to know that he will propose to me. And November is perfect. It falls in between the Jewish holidays. What the fuck? Once again, Charlotte went fucking full batshit fucking psycho, like she did with her last husband. Okay, with Trey, she fucking puts the carriage in front of the fucking horse. She's already fucking picked out the month that she's gonna fucking marry her boyfriend, despite the fact that her boyfriend Harry has not fucking proposed, has not told her he's gonna propose. Okay, he probably hasn't even bought a ring yet. He did, but we're not supposed to know that yet. Okay, and she's already fucking planning out her wedding. This is the same shit she did with her last fucking marriage. And look how that turned out. She tricked him she asked him to marry her, and he said yes. Oh my God. She hadn't even been divorced a year yet, and she's already fucking planning out her wedding to her new boyfriend. She's only had sex with one other guy since her divorce. Harry is the second guy she's had sex with since her divorce. And now she's gonna marry this guy? She just assumes that he's gonna fucking propose to her? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I know she became Jewish, but he never said, hey, if you become Jewish, then I'm gonna put a ring on it. He never fucking said that. He just said, I can't marry a woman unless she's Jewish. So she decided to become Jewish. I guess she expected him to propose to her now. No, he never said, I'll marry you if you become Jewish. He just said, I'm not gonna marry a woman who isn't Jewish. That's all he fucking said. And Charlotte went fucking psycho again. She can't be alone. She's gotta fucking be married. She's gotta fucking have this guy. She's already named her fucking kids, even though she can't fucking have kids. This is the kind of person Charlotte is. She's fucking psycho. I know she's pretty. I'm attracted to her, but god damn it, you are a one-night stand, Charlotte. Who the fuck wants to be your husband? Nobody. I guarantee you, if we had sex after one time, you've already planned our fucking wedding. Okay, yes. But Charlotte can't see that. But she tells him, like, Harry and I feel the same way, Miranda. I wouldn't have done all of this if I wasn't sure. I converted to Judaism for him. See what I mean? Okay. Meanwhile, Miranda tells Charlotte, hey, listen, I just don't want you to get hurt again. The way you got hurt your last marriage. I don't want that to happen to you again. Putting the carriage before the horse. Oh my God, Miranda's making sense. Okay, Samantha, meanwhile, she does some more role play. This time she's a secret agent. She got the black trench coat on, the black fedora, the black sunglasses, even though it's the middle of the fucking night. She's walking around like she's fucking Emma Peel from the Avengers or shit. I don't fucking know. She sits there across from fucking Smith, Jared, okay? And she's trying to act like she's some secret agent that needs to get the plans or whatever, and Smith is just not having it, okay? And she gets pissed off because she wants him to stay in character, and he won't. He doesn't want to be in character, okay? He does not want his real, she does not want his real personality to come out. Okay, and he's trying to talk like a normal person to her, and she wants to keep this role play thing going. And Smith's like, you know what, Samantha, tonight I would rather we just play ourselves. Okay, tonight I'm gonna be me, and you are gonna be you. Go. And she's like talk about killing her heart on, And she's like, he's like, look. He's like, look, Samantha, I told you the other night that I was in AA, and then you bolted out of that bar. What was up with that? I told you I don't drink, and you just, ran away from me. Why? And she's like, Jerry, that is your name, right? Jerry? Okay, I don't give a shit what you really are, what you're really like. Okay? It spoils the fantasy. Okay? I know I am harsh, okay? I'm also stubborn, demanding, self-sufficient, and I'm always fucking right. Wow, and you forgot to add modesty there too, Samantha. At the office and everywhere else, I'm a boss bitch. That's just a little bit about me. And he's like, I knew all that already about you, Samantha. My name, by the way, my last name is Jared. She's like, your name's Jared? No wonder you were drunk. So now they start up a conversation, all right? Okay, so now they're talking. Now they're learning about each other, all right? Which is what she didn't want to do, but he kind of basically told her, hey, listen, if you want to keep fucking me, you better get to know who I really am, okay? And part of me is, first of all, my name, Jared, and also I'm an AA and I don't drink alcohol, okay? Which is the shit that normal people do before they fuck, but not Samantha, all right? Okay, meanwhile, Jack Berger and Carrie, they're at a restaurant in New York. They're waiting to get seated. It's packed, probably the weekend. Okay, and while they're standing there, they had an argument earlier about a scrunchie. Basically, when Carrie read his book, She said that no woman would ever wear a scrunchie in New York, in Manhattan. And they're standing there, and there's a woman standing in front of them wearing a scrunchie. And Jack can't help, Burger can't help but point it out to Carrie, you know? By the way, Carrie's wearing this blue outfit, this blue dress, tight dress, with a blue fucking hat that looks disgusting. But, you know, nobody says anything to her about it. Not yet, anyway. And so he points out the scrunchie the woman in front of them is wearing. He's like, oh my God, Carrie, look at that right there. You know? Look at that. She's, you know what? I think we're in New York, right? If we're in New York, that means she's in New York too. Okay? And let's see, she's not washing her face. And she's in a downtown restaurant. Oh my God. And she's wearing a scrunchie. Holy shit. Because earlier, Carrie told him no woman would ever wear a fucking scrunchie unless she's in New York, around New York, unless she's washing her face. Okay? Well, he's like, wow, she's not washing her face, she's wearing a scrunchie, we're in a restaurant in downtown New York. How can that be possible, Carrie? After what you told me the other day. You know, and she tells him, she's not from New York. What? What did you say? She's not from New York? He's like, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. And the lady turns around and goes like, what part of New York are you from? And she's like, I ain't from New York. And the fucking redneck as fuck voice, man. I ain't from New York. Oh my God, honey. He thinks I'm from New York. I'm from Macon, Georgia. Yeah. Yeah, in other words, this is what they think Republicans are. Okay, so now fucking Burger feels like an idiot. Okay. And so that happens. Okay. Meanwhile, Miranda goes on her date with the real estate guy, the guy that didn't call her back the other day. Well, he called her back. He sent her an email saying, let's have dinner. So they eat at an Indian restaurant. I fucking hate Indian food, and you're going to find out why. So they're leaving the restaurant, and so Miranda wants to invite him back to coffee at her place like she did last time, and he refused last time. So now she's inviting him again to coffee at her place, even though she don't have any fucking coffee. He's like, I can't. I really can't. Not tonight. She's like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to make excuses. I understand completely. You're just not that into me. I get it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. He's like, no, really, I really can't go. I get it. You're not that. No, it has nothing to do with that. I got fucking diarrhea. He fucking runs away. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got diarrhea too from watching you. You fucking bitch. Looking at you gives me diarrhea. Another new Indian food. I'm just not into diarrhea. That's why I don't fucking like you, Miranda. All right. So so he fucking runs out of there after he screams about his diarrhea. Okay, now, back at the restaurant with Burger and Carrie, they're having dessert now, and Jack Burger keeps helping himself to fucking Carrie's dessert. And Carrie's talking the entire time. She won't shut up. She's talking about how great his book is. Now, remember, she criticized his book before because of the scrunchie thing. Well, he's talking to her. She's telling him how great it is. I love that part. And you know what? The best part of your writing is when you... And he's just like... Like that, you know, just fucking passive-aggressive fuck. And I know why he's acting that way. All right. Meanwhile, Harry comes home, he comes back to his apartment, you know, it's Charlotte's apartment, okay, and Charlotte's there, and she's cooking the Shabbos, whatever, the Jewish fucking dinner, but Harry's all excited and happy and proud of her for learning all this Jewish stuff, but the Mets are playing, it's the finals, and he wants to watch the fucking game. Now, Charlotte spent a lot of time and energy setting up the table, getting the appetizers ready, everything ready for this fucking, this Shabbos thing. Okay, I'm not Jewish. I don't know what the fuck it is. And he's trying to watch the fucking baseball game. And she's upset. She's upset that he's trying to watch the baseball game after she went through all this trouble to make this fucking, this religious fucking meal for him, you know? And he doesn't fucking care. Like I said, he wants to watch the Mets, and I don't blame him. Okay, now Charlotte gets pissed. She's like, turn that off! I gave up Christ for you! And Harry's like, whoa, okay, that's quite an argument there. So from now on, I'm going to have to hear that? Oh, I gave up Christ for you. Take out the garbage. I gave up Christ for you. Pick up your socks. She's like, you have no idea how hard I worked to build this dinner for you. He's like, what the hell's wrong with you, Shar? He's like, you need to set the date. Set the date. He's like, You're sounding really crazy here, Charlotte. Knock it off. No! You know how lucky you are to have me? Do you know how we look in front of other couples? Do you know what other people out there think about us? He's like, yeah, I do know what other people think about us, Charlotte. I just didn't think you were one of them. You know, and he gets up, and rightfully so, he gets up. Hey, Charlotte, what you should have done is you should have told him what you were doing. You're cooking this fucking great fucking Jewish feast for him tonight or tomorrow, whatever the fuck. Give him some heads up. Let him know you're going to do this before. Don't surprise him with shit like this. He wants to watch the fucking game. Christ, can't he watch the fucking game? Tell him, hey, tomorrow or in 2 days, for Shabbos, I'm going to cook you this special thing, all right? Okay, now he knows what to expect. He's not fucking just, hit sideways, blindsided by this thing. You see? And I don't blame him for going off on her, man. She is fucking psycho. Okay, so as he gets up and he starts walking away, he's like, I don't need this shit. And you know what? And I would have said the same thing. Good for you, Harry. Good for you. Don't put up with her fucking bullshit. Trey would have fucking folded. Trey McDougal would have folded. Not you. Not you. He's like, I don't need to put up with this shit. And he fucking gets up and starts walking away. He's like, I'm leaving. And then he's like, to think, I actually bought a ring. And he walks away. Now Charlotte's all fucking, well, you're acting psycho, Charlotte. What do you expect? Just because you're in fucking crazy land doesn't mean your boyfriend's going to go to crazy land with you. Okay, someone in this fucking relationship's got to have their shit together. Ugh. All right, I love you, Charlotte, but damn it, you're psycho. You're psycho. You are. All right. Meanwhile, Jack and Carrie are walking back home from the restaurant. Okay, they're walking down the street. And once again, Carrie's talking about how great his fucking book is, his novel is, how she loved this part and she loved that part, and blah, 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 And he's like, I especially love the part where he's like, and he just looks at her, he's like, Carrie, that's so lame. She's like, no, I thought it was hysterical, that scene. He's like, I'm not talking about the book. I'm talking about what you're doing right now. She's like, well, it's just that, I just thought that I screwed it up when I criticized you about the scrungy thing. And I do love your book. I really do. I'm not lying. And she starts to walk up the steps to her brownstone. And he just stands there. He does not go up the steps. Remember earlier in the episode, hey, if a guy is into you, he's going to go up. Well, he's not going up. He just standing there. He's like, you know what, Carrie, I'm going to call it a night. I got a meeting tomorrow morning. I got some stuff to do. So you have a good night, all right? And thanks for the dinner. Bye. And he walks away, and she's like, what? Are you serious? Burger, get back over here. And she fucking chases him while he's walking away. Yeah, he's walking away from her, And she chases him, He's like, you can't walk away like this. Look, I know you're pissed off, okay? But you cannot just shut down like this, okay? We have to say what's on our minds. I mean, if I made a mistake, I'd want you to tell me. He's like, oh, really, huh? Okay. Nice hat. And she's like, and she fucking walks away. My hat is fabulous. And she takes it. It's fabulous. You just said that to hurt me. He's like, so you can walk away, but I can't. Is that it? Yes, that's it. He's like, you see what I'm talking about here, Carrie? Okay, so you see what I'm talking about here, Carrie? It's like, what was I supposed to do with that scrungy comment, huh? What'd you expect me to do when you criticized my book like that? You expect me to go back in time and rewrite my whole book? I can't do that. And she's like, you know what, Burger, your problem you have is not with the scrungy. He's like, yes, I know what my problem is. My book is a failure. It's a failure. Nobody bought it. I already feel like shit. You trying to pump me up all night long is not helping. Now look, I'm sure this is all real sexy to you. And she's like, shut up. There's something I want to tell you. You're a beautiful writer. And I love your book. And I love you. And I still think you're sexy. And I'm not going to let you make another joke right now. He's like, I got nothing. And then they kiss each other. And they go upstairs together. Beautiful scene. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful scene. These two should have stayed together, honestly. You know, they got so much great chemistry, those two. I love their banter. It's like watching Moonlighting again, you know. You gotta understand, he was upset, okay? The reason he's acting this way is because he expected her to already know this stuff. He expected her to already know that it bothers him, that his book was a failure, that it bothers him when every time she keeps telling him how great it is, okay? Because he knows it's not great. He didn't fucking sell any copies. Nobody liked it. So he already knows it's not great. So for her to keep telling, he knows that she's just telling him this shit because she doesn't want to hurt his feelings. But that in itself is hurting his feelings even more, you know? And that doesn't make him feel good about himself, you know? It hurts him. Now, a normal adult human being probably would have told her all this beforehand, but he didn't do that. He just let it build up inside and he kept his fucking mouth shut and he just started getting all passive aggressive because he expected her to understand him. You know, for him to let her know what he's thinking, okay, is in offense, it's a sense of defeat. He's like, why do I have to explain this to you, Carrie? You should already know this. Okay, why do you keep doing this, okay? You should already know that this bothers me. I shouldn't have to tell you that this bothers me. Because if I tell you that this bothers me, either one, you're going to feel like I'm patronizing you, like you already know that. Okay, so I'm treating you like you're an idiot. You know? Or, what's it? You know? So, yeah, so that's why. He's expecting her to fucking understand him, and she doesn't. She doesn't understand what she's doing. Well, she doesn't understand that this is hurting him. Because he didn't tell her. Because he would also have to admit that it hurts him, okay? So that's the other side of the coin. The other issue is that he would have to, in order for him to tell her this straight out, what he's thinking, he would have to admit that he's weak, that he's insecure, that his feelings hurt. And that's very weak. He doesn't want to project weakness in front of her. He wants to act like he's strong. And it's easier to be angry than it is to be weak in front of her, vulnerable. It's better to be angry in front of a woman than to be vulnerable in front of a woman. So he's afraid of that, and he's also afraid of patronizing her, okay, talking to her like she's a fucking idiot, like something she should already know. That's why he doesn't say anything. He's expecting her to already know this. That's why he's acting that way. Yeah, I talk from experience. Okay, so anyway, Charlotte comes back to her apartment. Harry's not there. His stuff's all gone. He left her a note saying that he's going to send someone to pick up his TV because he left it there so he can watch his Mets game at home. So now Charlotte's kind of pissed off. That her and her boyfriend broke up. Well, for the time being. Yeah, they broke up because you're psycho, Charlotte. That's why. Okay, and meanwhile, Jack asked Carrie the next day if he can, she's brushing her teeth. Hey, you want to share the sink with me? You know, she's like, okay, go ahead. He's like, I need to wash my face. Well, he goes to the sink with her while she's brushing her teeth. He's got a scrunchie on the back of his head, and she teases him about it. He's like, where did you get that? He's like, I got it from Macon, Georgia. And they start playing around with each other, fooling around. And then he chases her out of the bathroom, very lovingly, very playful. Oh my God, they make a great fucking couple. They got better chemistry than her and Big do. They really do. I'm so shocked that they didn't end up. I ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there yet. Okay. So anyway, that's the end of this episode. It's a great episode, by the way. I love this episode. Saw so much of myself in here. Just the way I was back then, and I know this guy. I fucking know.